This is Roger from Showbiz Support, and I will show you generating a hot cost. Now, once you've entered payees daily and enter their pay hours, you can generate a hot cost. Make sure you do two things first. So, number one, find. I want to make sure I'm only finding one weekend at a time, and then I'll click Get. The reason why is when I go into, say for example, Monday, which is what I want to report, I do not want to report multiple Mondays. And that's what will happen if you have multiple weekendings in the program. Once I've done that, I also want to make sure I see if there's any setups. Anything that says setup can be preceded by clicking on Generate Hot Costs. However, what will happen is it'll say, ooh, you've got somebody to set up. This person will not be in your hot costs unless you fix them. So let me go back and explain what can be fixed about this. So first of all, make sure if it's an hourly person that they have an hourly rate, and they also have an overtime schedule, because it needs to figure it out in pay hours. If it's a flat, like a daily or a weekly, right, you actually need to make sure that you put those in there as well. Also, don't forget, if you're using the splitter in the episode, you put that in as well. So if I go back and look at that Monday, you can see that's exactly what I did. I actually forgot to put in the proper splitter. Why? Because the program needs to understand, if you were doing multiple episodes, what is the cost of each day's episode? And now I have fixed that. All right, now that I've done that, I can say Generate Hot Cost. And now what will pop up is it says it's going to delete the current set of hot costs. Now, don't be alarmed, because it will be deleting yesterday's hot costs, because you want to start fresh. Now, if you are still working on yesterday's hot costs, that's fine. Hit cancel, go back and finish that, and then start this process again. In this case, I'm ready to go, so I will click OK. Now, it'll take a few moments because it's actually calculating all the information in pay hours if it's hourly, and or processing the information. Now, it will ask you what type of pay hours do you want. You choose, in this case, Studio, and MPVs, I'll click Studio. And by the way, if you do not have any budgeted meal penalties, like I don't here, just choose the Studio so that the program will proceed. All right, so now what you can see, what's happened here is I've actually generated a hot cost. I actually have budgeted pay hours, I have an actual, and I have a variance. I also have totals in the program. Now the program is actually ready for lead accountant to make adjustments and generate reports. Thank you.